How do you, whether you're speaking, training, consulting, turn the on button in other people so that they want to hear your message, so they want to learn, so they want to be persuaded? How do we do that? So all of you have a little key right now. We handed you all a key when you walked in. Pull those out of your pockets. And let's take a look at the first question I have for you. Do you make the training or the speech mandatory in the company? In other words, management says every employee needs to come to this training program. 2, do you create a list of benefits for the employee? If you come, this is what you're going to get out of it. Do you provide an incentive? If you go to the training program, if you go to the speech, this is what you're going to get as a result. Do you make the training fun so that everybody laughs and enjoys, which we know increases the alpha brainwave state? Or do you create buy-in? Okay, here's the clock. It's going to count down. Everybody needs to vote. So now find a partner, and you can use the same partner you had before. What I'm going to ask you to do, and I want you to remember this state of being from this day forward. With your words, what you want to avoid is ever getting your audience into what we call push back. So you're going to find your partner. When I say go, I want you to push just as hard as you can, but do not push anybody off their chair. All right? Get set, get ready, don't hurt them. All right? Okay, who won in that exercise?
We all did.
Right, we all did or no one did. Basically, you push, they push back, and that's what we call push back. Now, what happens in your presentations is if you use what we call a red flag word, or if you veer into territory that people feel defensive about, they stop listening. All they want to do is defend their point of view, so they don't hear anything more that you say because they're shut down. So you put Google alerts in there, anything that's about coaching, mentoring, teams, those sorts of words that come up. Article comes up in a couple of business, Forbes, Fortune, whatever the local business magazines are, and you go and you read the article, and then you write a letter to the editor. How much I love that article. And in addition, here are 3 other things that I do in my practice. That does not cost a thing. And guess what's one of the most well-read pieces of any magazine or newspaper? The letters to the editor. Almost always people are interested in what other people are saying. So it's a great way to, again, start getting some free publicity. Then you make a copy of your letter to the editor with the magazine. Now you are featured in Fortune magazine in your letter to the editor. Recognize this really important concept. How many of you came this week with the thought in your mind that you hoped the presenters were horrible? You came with the hope that the instructors were going to be really good, right? So I would like for you to remember that when you get up to give a presentation, your audience is rooting for you. You want to be able to have this very quick synopsis of what you do that is intriguing, that makes people want to ask you, oh, tell me more about it. And the second thing that you want to have is a memory hook for your name. Now, when I do my self-introduction, I usually start off by saying, how many of you would like to get rid of your largest debt? Maybe it's your house payment, maybe it's your car payment. Please raise your hand if you'd like to get rid of that debt in the next 30 days. Everybody raises their hand. Then I say, well, can't help you to get rid of that debt, but I can help you to remember my name. And I pulled up the screen, and who remembers what it said? It said, burn a debt. And I'm telling you that works. We make our presentations interactive. We can do this through an assessment. Something as simple as, how many of you went out to dinner last night? May I see a show of hands? Did we do any small group activities yesterday? Okay, we reviewed our presentations in 2 big groups. Yep, what else did we do? The planned presentation has a closing, and this is a really important part. You close with something warm, something sincere. You have a call for action. This is the reason that you came to speak. You want them to do something with this information. So you want to make sure it's memorable. And a conclusion or an ending is not, are there any more questions, or is there any questions? That's not a closing. Doing something, calling them to do something, to remember something, and then, of course, you can thank the audience. Again, I don't believe that you walk away without thanking the audience. I think it's important to thank the audience.